Hi guys, it's Jamie from supergrowth.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use my expired Web 2.0 ranker. So what this tool basically does is allows you to find expired Web 2.0 properties and then re-register them, such as tumblers and blogspots and things like that. So if you don't understand why you'd want expired Web 2.0s, you basically re-register them once they're expired, and then you place a backlink on them to your website that you want to rank, and then any link juice that they have from links pointing to them will then be passed onto your website, helping your website rank higher. So I'll just give you a quick informal walkthrough of how this tool works. So there's a load of built-in Web 2.0 properties here already, and I'll show you how to create a new one in a sec. We'll just go over some of the other options first. So if you want the properties that it's trying to find to be niche related, then you just enter your niche in here, SEO, bodybuilding or whatever. If you don't care about the niche, then you can click no niche, and that will use words randomly, basically from a dictionary that's built into it. The program now supports proxies, so you can have an unlimited number of proxies in there. Please use good proxies, dedicated. Even semis, most of the time half of them are Google burnt already, so make sure you use dedicated. So click use proxies, and then add your proxies up there. Make sure you put them in the right format too. You can also pull back Moz metrics for each expired Web 2.0 that it finds. You will need to enter your Moz access ID and key there. Now before we go ahead and do a search, I'm just going to show you guys how to create a new profile in case there's any Web 2.0s out there that aren't in this software already. So you just click create new profile and give it a name. In this instance we're going to just make up some random domain, so we're just going to call it jamie.com. We're going to say it's a subdomain. So for example, Twitter would be an example of one that's on the parent, on the main domain, whereas Tumblr is an example of one that would be on the subdomain. So I'm going to say this one is jamie.com is the parent domain. So now we're going to tell it how to decide whether it is expired or not. The majority of the time it is just whether the response code is 404. Sometimes there might be a bit of text that gives it away in the HTML or some HTML itself, but most of the time it's just a 404, and there's loads of other error codes you can select as well. Now sometimes you can tell whether they're actually available to register by what's in the HTML. Sometimes you can't. If you don't know what it is, just leave it blank, and it won't do the availability check. For Tumblr, there is a built-in engine, but at the moment I've only done the Tumblr one. I will do some others when I get a chance, but for the moment Tumblr is the only one with built-in availability engine in it. Okay, so let's save this profile. There are some other options. Now, if you're not using proxies, you will have to put a big pause between Google requests, because in the background, this application uses an advanced search operator on Google. And what that basically means is it puts site : and then the domain that it wants results from. So in this instance, in the background, what it's doing when it searches is searching for site : tumblr.com. And because Google knows not many people, relatively speaking, search with such advanced operators, then it's always suspicious that there's an automated piece of software doing it. So it does put the delay that is required between requests, it does set it quite high at their end. So I'd leave that as it is. Obviously a way of getting around that is to use proxies, and lots of them. Now you can set here which search engine you want to use. I would use both, there's no harm in that. Each has their advantage. So obviously with Google, the crawler is far superior to Bing, so that gives you the advantage of getting more tumblers back to check. However, because they have a better crawler, their crawl frequency is much higher, so you don't tend to get as many, although you get more tumblers to check, you don't tend to get as many that have expired, because once they become expired and you get a 404 when you browse them, then Google takes them out of their index. But it's still definitely worth having both. The advantage to Bing is the opposite in both ways. You don't get as many tumblers back to check, but the ones you get back, because they probably haven't been crawled recently, there's a greater chance that they have expired. So there's no harm in using both. I'd keep both in there. Okay, so now we've created our Web 2.0. We should find it down there, yeah. So now we selected that. When we begin the search, it will search for expiredjamies.com. Okay, so let's go back to a normal search. Let's do some tumblers. Let's keep it niche related. Okay, let's see what we can find. Okay, so I paused the video and we come back to it. It's been running for about 10 minutes now, and we found our first tumbler. You can see it's available. It hasn't done the PA check simply because I didn't put my Moz credentials in it. But if you do put them in, it will go off to Moz and give you the PA of it. One of the advantages to that is that you can leave it running overnight, come back to a nice list of expired Web 2.0s, and then just sort them by PA and work your way down them. So that's it. That's basically how the program works. Keep in mind you'll get much quicker results if you use proxies, as long as they're good dedicated proxies. Feel free to add in your own Web 2.0s. That's why the profile creation is there. Yeah, and you can export results down here. And that's it. If there's any question, guys, please come to supergrowth.com and fire me a message. And if you can think of anything else that you think there's a good demand for, then yeah, let me know. Thanks, guys.